our mind and our brain is not what stores the emotions. The mind and the brain is what processes the emotions, and then it flushes them out to another part of the body where they're stored for you to be able to express it at another time. Our emotions create acidity within the body. So freaking annoying and amazing thing as well. What I mean by it all is, let me give you these simple tips that will absolutely change your life. So first, 1 device-free day every week. We also want to make sure that you're having detoxing food on that day. And then the final thing is, welcome wisdom keepers, soul tribe, and new earth leaders to Soul Temple, your haven for self-discovery and growth. I'm Blythe Langford, and I am your guide to finding yourself and your true purpose. Together, let's shift from feeling stuck and misaligned to living a life of purpose and prosperity. So today we are talking about healthier coping mechanisms for high achievers. Now, I want to set the scene here. Do you identify with self-sabotaging behaviors? Are you struggling with being noncommittal, overindulging, being absent or not present with your partner, loved ones, colleagues, or employees? Do you suppress a lot? Are you passive-aggressive? Are you easily triggered when people are doing things that they shouldn't be? Are you abusive accidentally and then you apologize afterwards? Or are you so rigid that you don't even have space and time to actually tune in with yourself? These are common behaviors of high achievers. So I remember walking around the Bay Run with my mum in Sydney one day, and I looked at her and I said, I think I'm having a heart attack. And I looked at her and she had really vacant eyes, and I was like, actually, I feel like this pressure most days. And I knew, being an intuitive, looking at her, that she felt like this all the time. She was a high achiever as well. And I was like, oh, this woman can't help me. This is normal. Ugh. And, it wasn't that long after that I got cancer. And this is why I'm doing all of this, because I want to help you prevent it needing to get that bad. But the pressure of our modern worlds and having a business that we are obsessed with, that we put before our own health and well-being, has us lead to things that are detrimental to our health. First of all, before it turns into anything, it is an emotional state. So this non-committal, can't commit to anything because too busy on my business, can't deal with any feelings there. Passive-aggressive, that's also the opposite side of that aggression, right? Like the toxic feminine or the toxic masculine wounding of the passive aggressive. And then we've got the easily triggered, because we're not actually dealing with anything within us. So whenever anybody does anything and we've lost control of the situation, we will be triggered because it's not how we want it to be. Because we're control freaks. Yep, a lot of us high achievers, let's admit it, we're freaking control freaks. And it can be accidentally abusive as well. Like you could be saying to somebody you love, even when you're saying it, something that is actually polarizing of how you feel, but you can't even believe the words that are coming out of your mouth, but they're actually abusive to people that you love. Can you apologize straight away because you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I actually just said that. These behaviors happen because we are not actually dealing with ourselves. Everything's fine and always amazing when we are in control of the whole situation, but take away our control of the situation and holy moly, there's hell to pay, right? Maybe you're even better than that and you're so rigid with how you have set up your life. So the rigidity, when people are obsessive compulsive, everything needs to be a certain way and done this way and da-da-da-da. They're all forms of controlling and anxious behaviors. Remember how I said in the previous episode that inflammation causes infections. Infections cause disease, and disease is literally the breakdown of the cells, which is cancer, AIDS, all of the things, that you don't want to get. It's these emotions and these behaviors that are actually driving toxicity within our body that creates the disease. So as a impactful leader, you want to make sure that you're intersecting what's going on within you and actually owning how you feel. And people will be like, oh my gosh, it's like so weak to feel your emotions, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, that's why people live under 100 years, because they're not dealing with their emotions. If they did and were able to process them and had healthy ways to process them, then we would live a lot longer because there wouldn't be the degeneration of the body. The body is just providing feedback to what is going on within you. Now, the reason that these behaviors are so important, especially as high achievers or entrepreneurs, leaders, business owners, lovers, partners, is because I know that so many of you are feeling spiritually broke. Like there's something in your heart that just doesn't feel right, right? Like there's something missing. Or why isn't life how it's supposed to be? I've done all of the things, like I've got the property that I want. I've got a beautiful family that I love, but something's missing inside. Yeah, I know, because I've been there too. And like 99.9% of the people, maybe 100 that come and work with me feel the same way. And all of the entrepreneurs that I speak to as well, they're doing all of the things like living these amazing lives, yet their behaviors are not coinciding with somebody that loves themselves or feels fulfilled internally. That's something that I just invite you to have a look at within your life, because how we do anything is how we do everything. Also, what is going on within you or how you are expressing yourselves subconsciously is the biofeedback for what's actually unprocessed in your body, mind, and life. Now, what can happen in a relationship if you are a woman or a man, actually, one way it goes is the woman becomes the controller in the relationship. So she's in her toxic femininity. And what that does is it emancipates the man completely. Happy wife, happy life. Okay. Yet goes out on the weekends and does all of these things to release some of the anger, get some of the control back that they're not able to express or have in their relationship because they are continually manipulated by their partner. And I see this so often with clients and friends and loved ones, and it's so tricky, to witness, because they're like, yeah, my man's doing everything that I want, but it's still just like never enough, and they're still constantly putting down their man and manipulating to do these things because they think that they need to gain the control. And the man thinks that he needs to bow down to the women. Their men get sick. A lot of people that are going through like having small kids, and the women are at home doing their at-home businesses, and then the men are the main breadwinner, and they're getting sick as well, and they're being emancipated, and they're trying to do all of these things, and they're like, it's just never enough. And it's about how they can have stronger boundaries so that they're no longer feeling emancipated and able to express their emotions in a healthy place, which is what we do on the retreats, being able to not only purify all of the things that we spoke about in a previous episode, but also be able to process these emotions, because there's never been a space that's been safe enough for anybody to express their honest and true emotions. There's never been time in a high achiever's life to be able to give themselves enough stillness to know what is going on, because we live from our heads 99.9% of the time, not realizing that our brains don't store any memory. Our brains just keep on processing, keep on processing, keep on processing. The adrenals are going, need 10 coffees a day. Oh my gosh, yep, it's okay. I'm staying active, I'm staying alive, I'm doing all the things. Yet the body is screaming out, I have got these emotions that I'm trying to process. If you don't let me process them, they're going to turn into inflammation, which turns into infection, which turns into disease, which is why a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs and leaders, get these little niggly health concerns as they go on, because these behaviors are so present and they just keep on pretending they don't exist. Remember that these behaviors are beautiful. They are the keys to your longevity. They're the keys to gaining your life back. And they are the keys to getting to know yourself so well, so that when these behaviors do show up, it's like a younger part of you that, rather than expressing and projecting all over somebody else that you absolutely love and adore, as soon as it comes up, you can actually learn to reparent yourself and nurture yourself. You become whole again. Really know who we are and accept every part of ourselves. And I was actually speaking to one of my clients 2 days ago about this, and their mum was in the hospital and they couldn't find anything that was wrong with her. You know, she's a highly successful woman. There was another family member there was like, oh my gosh, mum was saying that there was all of these traumatic flashes that she was having from her past that she wasn't dealing with. So whilst the hospital couldn't find anything that was wrong with her, her body is giving her this feedback because she's got this stored, trapped energy that wants to express, but the brain is so scared to actually process it. And so what we want to do with you is allow yourself to look after this undercurrent of bubbling away pots and pans so that they can come back to a place of tranquility and peace, and they don't turn into dis-ease, because disease is so easily cared for and nurtured and prevented as well. So acidity is not just from the food we eat. Our emotions create acidity within the body, which is like so freaking annoying and an amazing thing as well, because we are just in complete control of our being at all time. And we are either poisoning ourselves or nourishing ourselves in every single moment. What I mean by it all is finding healthy places and spaces to be able to deal with your anger, to be able to express your anger, to allow it to flow through you, or having a tool in the moment to see the anger starting to come up, and rather than being the anger, can see the anger and whoa, and just have self-inquiry about, whoa, there's what's going on for me here. I'm feeling the heat, and just breathing into it and just being like, okay, cool. Making it about you, not about the other person. They've triggered something that's in you that needs to be processed. That's why I'm so obsessed with everything that I do, like the breath work, the purification processes, the embodiment, the nature care. All of these are tools provided from nature to be able to neutralize and turn any acidity back into a natural and neutral state within the body so it doesn't turn into inflammation. We actually want to go to the root cause of where these things came from. And this is why NLP and these mindset tools never actually get there long term. But we need to remember that our mind and our brain is not what stores the emotions. The mind and the brain is what processes the emotions, and then it flushes them out to another part of the body where they're stored for you to be able to express it at another time. Like, let's say you are triggered by somebody and you are feeling super angry, right? But you push down that anger and you are passive aggressive instead so that you don't hurt the person. So in that moment, you have split yourself and you have been this people pleaser. And then at the same time, you've split your energy and pushed down that anger. So that anger will be somewhere because you haven't been 100% honest with your feeling, right? And then you can be like, well, Blythe, if I had been honest, I would have hurt them. If you'd become the anger, then you would have. But if you had gone through processes to be able to express your anger in a really great way and learn communication skills that are actually going to be supportive for conscious communication, then you don't have to be the anger, but you can share the experience that you're having with them. For example, that would look like, whoa, I am so triggered right now. And I just want to let you know that I'm really experiencing a lot of anger from what you just said. It's not your fault. I'm going through this and this is what I am processing. So I take full responsibility and accountability for that emotion because it's mine. They didn't physically hurt me. They said a word. We need to remember that we are in control of our feelings. And so once we've actually done some, like in my programs, we do somatic work, we do the breath work, we do nature work, we do purification process, we do so many things, conscious communication that allow us to be able to recognize when something comes up and how we deal with it. And this is so vitally important for your spiritual evolution. It's also so vitally important for your relationships, the internal relationship with thyself and the relationships with your loved ones so that you don't hurt or harm them with your words, and also for your team and your staff as well, because you don't want to be that jerk that like they say something to you at the wrong time of the day and because you haven't had your second coffee, you're feeling like crap and then you lose it at them, then you have to go and apologize later. Like, not cool, you know? Like, I've been there too when I was in my 20s, but also these behaviors are the keys along the pathway that will take us to our greater mission once we resolve them by doing the deep inquiry and the deep inner spiritual work. So I know it can feel extremely overwhelming. The personal development, oh my gosh, inner child work, shadow work, all of the things. But let me give you these 5 simple tips that will absolutely change your life if you just did these 5 things. So first, so important. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. I know. 1 device-free day every week. Oh my gosh, this might be the start of me realizing that I have an addiction. I have an addiction to my phone. Honestly, just getting away from that device. It's literally a device that is like attached to our third eye that is like manipulating us with frequency, hardening up our pineal gland. And our pineal gland is what gives us our intuition, our creativity, our flow state, and also helps to generate health within the body as well. We also want to make sure that you're having detoxing food on that day. Make sure you get greens in there as well. When I say greens, I mean leafy greens, not just, cucumbers and zucchinis and stuff like that. Your leafy greens, your herbs. You've got your device, your detoxing food. Another one would be great. No alcohol. Yes, a day of no alcohol every single week, like 100% no alcohol. I'm having spiritual medicine. I'm like, that's a tincture with alcohol. And you're having 10 times the amount that you're supposed to have. That is still going into your systems, and become really aware that maybe you've got some addiction there, and that's cool because you're actually healing that on that day. No shopping. No shopping online, no shopping in the supermarket, because shopping going into those bright lights, and especially if you're in like a big shopping center, it's an environment that's created to manipulate you into purchasing. So it's literally the same as being on your phone. And then the final thing is like spend as much of your day in nature. And you can be like, Blythe, it's raining. Get a raincoat and some gumboots. I don't know. Like I go out, rain, hail or shine, 365 days a year. Floods, fires, I don't care. I'm going. Been out with panthers and freaking pythons and pumas. I don't care what country I'm in. I'm going for a run. Yes, it's a little bit scary, but we teach you how to deal with that at my program. Oh my God, that's so cool. I forgot about that. It's literally a thing. Yeah, sometimes it's a bit tricky. It's a bit cold. I'll give you a trick for when it's cold. Put your clothes in the dryer. They'll be really warm before you go. That's what I do every day in winter. I still have to push myself because it's not like I want to do that every day. Sometimes my little girl's going, wow, let's stay at home and like just be like Suki and eat all the food. It's like, okay, cool. Well, I can do that, but I'm going to go for a run first. It's my medicine. Like I've had a disability. I can't do yoga. I can't do all of those things. So you need to figure out what your nature medicine is and what makes you feel absolutely epic and amazing, And I don't even care if it's like getting a beach umbrella, putting it out, and then just sitting under your beach umbrella, reading a book or journaling. That's amazing. Go and do that, but make sure it's a book that makes you feel good, not just some toxic romantic poobla. I don't know. So those 5 things will definitely make you feel better. Device-free day, detoxing food, no alcohol, no shopping, and nature. That will literally reset your body, rewire your nervous system, rewire your brain, rewire your body for its immune system to come back online. And it will also help to neutralize the toxicity that has been created by these behaviors that really are having you self-sabotage and are keeping you from your authentic self. And it will literally add quality years onto your life. Like not an extra, like you won't feel like a little bit better, but if you did this every single week, then you are actually doing one of the purification processes that all of the ancients did. They had that one day to reset, rewire, and really allow nature to come in and heal their body. So please 100% give these a go, because the non-committal, the overindulging, the absent, suppression, passive-aggressive, triggered easily, abusive, rigid behaviors, self-sabotaging, literally this one practice every single week will change your life for the better. Your leadership skills and how you feel about yourself will 10x. You will no longer put yourself second to your business. Your life and your self-worth will be second to none, because that's how you're going to really succeed in this world. That's how you're going to be the best person that you can be for your family, for your team, for your mission, and for humanity. You came here to be the best version of yourself and to work with these emotions and these triggers and these behaviors. And they are literally the medicine that you are here to alchemize in this lifetime. Thank you for joining me on Soul Temple. If this episode spoke to your soul, I would love your support with a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And do not forget to subscribe on your favorite platform. But don't let your journey end here. Connect with me and my like-minded community of souls at Blythe Langford on all social platforms. I really look forward to diving deeper with you on your journey.